Now that you understand where the slings are located, it is time to put this knowledge into practice. We use the concepts of the slings to help us produce better movement in our clients, and in particular, help our clients to learn good motor patterning for skill development. This essentially entails breaking a complex motor pattern, or an exercise, into its part in order for the client to learn it. We also call this part practice into whole practice. For example, when teaching a complex exercise such as a cable lunge row, it is important to break the exercise into its sub-skills, so a row, a lunge, a segregated lunge row, and then into a one-movement lunge row. At each stage, you can check that they have got the skill to perform the task, and then you progress them. In other words, you layer the skill so as to provide the best chance for learning the skill. If a client can't master a sub-skill, then that becomes their highest level of progression, and they should not continue until that part is mastered. In the cable lunge row example, many people, when conducting a one-movement lunge row, have issues controlling their core during the concentric phase of the lunge, which makes the row component of the skill substandard. They are wobbly and unbalanced, and the row is not controlled. This breakdown point is what you, as a PT, need to condition before moving on to the next layer of the exercise. It may be the case that you prescribe different exercises that are on the same sling to help the client. Another way to look at this is by using the find, fire, fatigue system. Find makes reference to figuring out what muscles are within the relevant sling. You then select isolated or isometric exercises to activate the relevant muscles. Next is fire. This is about switching the muscles on by using light loads and high reps to help prime the nervous system. The exercise you select must have the same motor pattern as the exercise that you are targeting, and the loads must be light enough to elicit this response, but without fatiguing them. If you fatigue them, they'll have no energy for the actual working sets. Lastly, fatigue. This is the working sets of exercises that you have for the movement pattern. Let's look at an example. Here's how to prime someone for a power jump. Firstly, find the muscles that are needed to be activated. In this case, the glutes and the back extensors. So select an exercise that will help activate these. Examples could be back extension or supine bridges. Next is fire. We want to find specific exercises that will mimic the power jump. So in this case, low load deadlifts, which activate the hip extensor mechanism and are perfect. Once find and fire are completed, the client is now ready to fatigue, which means performing the actual working sets of the power jump. By always using the find, fire, fatigue system, you'll be able to apply integrated training safely and effectively.